Thompson's a mechanical engineer, and he always wanted to go into the deep ocean and make machines that could do that sort of thing.
And down. That's good.
We've known each other since 7th grade, and he was looking for a project. The SS Central America was a ship that sank with a lot of gold on it and in very deep water. In fact, it's the largest treasure in American history. So the idea was to try to find out where the gold ended up. The only problem was, where did it sink?
Tom Thompson contacted me to help him estimate the location of the wreck of the Central America. Now we're searching in very deep water here, 7,000 feet or so.
And we were going after gold.
In 1857, there was a gold rush going on in California. And the best way to travel was to take a ship, in this case the Central America, and it was a very luxurious and by far the best way to travel at the time. And it was used to carry a large number of passengers and gold between San Francisco and New York City. On this particular trip, the Central America didn't realize it was steaming directly into a storm. And even though they were running into rough weather, they felt that they could steam straight through it. But as they proceeded on, a leak developed in the bow of the ship. They weren't able to pump out the water fast enough to keep the water from covering the coal. The coal got damp, they could not keep their steam engines going, and finally the ship began to drift at the mercy of the winds and the storm. And finally, the ship went down at 8 o'clock on Saturday night.
There were 425 people that died when the Central America went down, but there were an awful lot of survivors. Actually, there were 60 people, and they told their stories to the newspaper reporters, and it was printed all over the country.
So we searched all the historical records to find out as much as we could about where the ship was lost.
There was so much information that it had to be organized.
To the experience of Mrs. Birch.
So we created this matrix that eventually stretched all the way across the living room wall. And the 60 personal accounts of these people went across the top, or the x-axis. And then down a y-axis, you would have all of the time that it took for the Central America to sink.
Over here, we see under James Fraser that for the same time period that the weather continued to increase until 8 o'clock when it
so that you could tell what the picture of the sinking was all about. And then this kind of information was used to create mathematical models of the sinking.
We did that by performing 4,000 computer experiments. We produced what we call a probability map for the location of the target. And what this probability map is a grid on the ocean bottom, and this grid consisted of cells 4 miles by 4 miles in width, and we counted up the number of times that the ship landed in each one of those cells. So, for example, if we see in one of the cells there's a number 73, and that's the highest probability cell there. And 73 means 73 1,000ths probability that the ship was located in that cell.
Look at this! Look at this!
You got tape on the Colmec?
They used their remote vehicle, Nemo, that was able to go down to the ocean bottom, had television cameras on it. It had an arm that they could use to recover objects.
Yeah, all right, Brian.
Bingo!
Way to go.
And they went down 7,000 feet or so.
Yeah, look at this. Whoa, 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 whoa. Here we go. Oh, you know what that looks like.
Once they saw the on-side reels, then they knew that this was the actual wreck of the Central America.
Well, this project really has a lot of treasures, not just gold, but scientific treasures and historical treasures, and others. The wood from the shipwreck itself became the basis of a food chain, and an entire colony of of animals grew up around the site. So it's become a laboratory for studying deep sea life.
It's a matter of wonder to me that you do this mathematics, and when it actually works and it produces a plan that's successful and finds the target here, I just get an incredible kick out of that. That is a lot of fun for me, and that's why I enjoy doing mathematics.